Hello everyone, it's Sergio here, and today we're gonna talk about how to set a medium defensive block and how to execute it properly. When the opposition has control in the last third, could be a goal kick or could be they recover the ball and they got control possession. So let's start with the roles of the team and why are we doing it. So as you can see here in the image, we are the blue team. And we are a unit that protects the middle of the park, that sets the defensive shape in the middle third. So we're not sitting back in the defensive third. We're not too high. We're not pressing too high in the attacking third. But one of the most important things here is that we need to be compact. So if one of our players or two of our players or a line of players are not playing in the same way that everyone else, what we create is big gaps because we can't be a unit, we can't be a block if we're not trying to move and execute one single idea of football. So this game is about stay compact, is about being a unit, is about do the right thing for everyone else. It's about to stay disciplined. So let's talk about the roles of each of the individuals of this team. For example, number 9 and number 10. You are the ones that start the play. So let's say we're playing versus a 4-3-3 in attack. So our defensive shape will be most likely a 4-4-2. As you can see, there is one line here, the other 4 here, and the 2 in attack. Now, the first thing is we are going to allow players to have a space, center backs most likely, to have a space in their own area, in the last third. So when the goal kick is played, when they realize they have a space, most likely they're not going to play a long ball. If they play a long ball, we should be able to deal with that because even as long as they can go, we're going to have players in there and that's a different matter. But when they're playing out, with control possession, for example, in this case, they're gonna have a space. So if they play the ball between themselves here at the back, is not dangerous. We just need to shuffle across. There is not much to do. But when they decide to take the space, then is when it becomes crucial, the jobs, especially to start with number 9 and number 10. So the job of the number 9 and one we're expecting is to do 2 jobs. Job number 1 is try to block the pass between center backs. So this pass should not be allowed. So how can number 9 do that? So the first thing he's gonna do is he's gonna go not in front of the ball, not in front of the player. That's not gonna be his run. His run is gonna be in a semicircle. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna draw it here. The way he needs to press is in a semicircle, coming around and at the same time applying pressure. So what this is gonna do is gonna force the center back to don't play that ball, but to start dribbling and taking the space forward. At the same time that number 9's block the pass, he's gonna try to apply pressure. So once the center back is in this area in our block, we need number 9 to really go and try to apply pressure to this player. So he's forced to play a ball into trouble, okay? But let's see if we don't do the job properly, if we don't do that. So once he's dribbling, and this is what we've seen a lot, yes, number 9 comes and sits somewhere over here. So this one, it's a very easy solution for the center back because let's say 6 pull away and everyone is marking. He's just gonna switch to the other center back, or the center back will get into our medium third, and then that's way too late for us to react. We don't want this to happen because if he doesn't have any kind of pressure, he will be able to send a good ball, diagonal ball in behind, or he will be able to commit someone, for example, keep dribbling, commit one of our players, and create a 2v1, create an overload. So we don't want that to happen. So what we want is the player, that one of the center backs, whoever who has the ball, to be under pressure to send that pass. So he won't have time, or she won't have time, and it will be he or she will be able to send a ball to someone that is already marked, or a long ball into trouble. So number 9, your job is clear. You need to force the play to one side, apply pressure at the same time, and block the pass to the center back. So it's kind of 2-3 jobs that number 9 really need to do. All right. Let's say we get beaten. Let's say the pass goes across. Even number 9 did the job, but the center back managed to play the ball to number 3. We need to be smart enough to do a rotation. So number 10 had his player, but now number 10 need to go and delay the play. So how he will delay is he's not gonna go and dive. He's still gonna hold his position somewhere where he can block the 6 and allow the 9 to come. So it didn't work at the beginning, so we're gonna allow this player to keep carrying it at the same time that the number 9 is gonna come and pick his player. Once the player is picked, the number 10 need to get involved in the pressing. I need to do exactly the same. He can't go here because he will repeat the process, play sideways. He needs to do again another kind of semicircle, forcing the play, hopefully wide. Hopefully he will play here, he will play there, or he will send the ball where we got more people than them. But then the job is done again. So as you can see, what's the idea? The idea is get them into a trap where whoever they play, they rather on a one-on-one, or we got the overload. For example, if the ball number 10 comes, we need number 6 to follow. So if the ball is played there, we're gonna have a one-on-one, support it, but everyone else that is surrounded. So we're still gonna be a compact unit. We're still gonna have that kind of setup where if he takes a bad touch, our winger will be able to get it. 10 even it's gonna come and try to get it. Even number 9 will come and try to get it. So we got more people than them and congest the area. So as soon as this ball is played, we need to support that defending job that 6 is doing in this case. Okay, so let's rewind. Let's get back into our initial setup. We talked already about number 9 and number 10 and what are their jobs. Now, let's say number 9 and number 10 are doing the job. All right, number 9 forced the play, block the pass in between center backs. Number 4 got no more time anymore. Everyone else need to do a job. So what's the job? Let's start with the 3 midfielders. So with both 6s, 6 and 8, and number 10. As you can see, normally in a 4-3-3, they also gonna have these 3 players in the middle of the park. Wherever they go, you need to stick with them. So it needs to be a one-on-one battle in the middle of the park, no one free. So what happened is this player, if he can find, let's say number 10 commits and leave his mark, and they find that player, from there everything becomes trouble. And I will tell you why. Because this player, it's gonna commit someone from the another line. So number 8 will get committed, and then it will be an overload. And let's say they play here, and then one of the center backs will get committed, and then we're in trouble. We don't want that. So to avoid that kind of situation, we need to be disciplined and get a one-on-one in the middle of the park. I will highlight these guys over here. These 3 need to be in a one-on-one and follow wherever the other one goes. So in this case, number 6 can drop, number 10 need to follow. If number 8 made the run, you need to follow. If number 10 drops in here, 6 need to follow. And then, as you can see, the options he got is to play someone that is marked, someone that is under pressure, or someone that got is surrounded by our defenders. If they play the wingers, the fullbacks or the winger, we need to make sure that they are forced. They can receive the ball, that's not a problem, but what we don't want is them receiving the ball forward. So our wide players, our fullback and our winger need to be aware that if that ball is played, because it's very possible that they find any of these wide players. But what they need to make sure is as soon as the ball is traveling, they need to apply pressure, forcing that into a mistake, a bad touch, or the play back. Because if he takes a touch back, and we're already in this situation, they are really in a trouble moment where we can recover the ball. Same for the winger. If the center back finds the winger, we need to make sure we're nice and tight, no diving in, because we don't want to dive in and then this player going around. We want to keep our position, but stay compact and stay very, very close to them, forcing the play back, forcing a mistake, forcing a pass. That's the job of everyone else in the park pretty much. Mark one-on-one, identify the player, follow the runner. Now, let's say that he's got into this position over here with the 9 being a little bit lazy and letting this guy dribble, and we're not gonna commit, all right, as we explained before. He will find in a situation where probably number 10 will get here, will block the 6, and he will still feel the necessity to play that ball. The problem is that if this guy got no pressure, he will send the ball in behind way too easy, and it's going to be a hard ball to deal with, all right? But if the number 9 does the job, apply pressure, this ball normally will be very, very difficult ball for them to control if it's a long ball, for him to send it with the quality of putting it in between the back four and the goalkeeper, which means that we're gonna have a transition moment, and that's what we want to create. If they play someone that is under pressure, if they play someone that is marked, and we can double up and we can support and we can recover the ball, now we need something to happen, and it's the next point of my explanation, is we need to value the ball as soon as we recover it. So normally the areas will be congested, especially in the middle of the park. Everyone will be on one side of the pitch pretty much. What we need is 2 players, especially to do a job, and is as soon as we recover the ball, can we switch the point of attack? Can we try to get the ball in a position where we can get in behind them as quick as possible on the other side? So when we have the ball and when we recover the ball after this, we need to be able to move and create passing options to get the ball out of pressure, and hopefully get our winger in the opposite side of the field nice and high. So he will be our target, being able to get the space that these players left for us, all right? If that's not on, what we want is probably the number 9 to be our target and then go direct, okay? But that's not, we want to do this, but if it's not on, if the transition is not as quick as we want to, we still need to be able to keep possession. And that's our main job. We recover the ball, but we're not giving it away. We're gonna try to execute it quickly, but giving priority to keep the ball, giving priority to offer the options so we can have the ball and have a space at the same time, and then try to penetrate in behind. What we've seen a lot, and what I've seen a lot as a coach, is we recover the ball, we get the ball out of the congested area, so it was on the left, we're trying to get it to the right, and then the winger marking himself and making his job more difficult by coming towards the middle, by coming inside, bringing and marking himself with the center back, and then it will be a difficult ball to play. It won't be as effective as we want. So we need to believe, and we need to have and provide our width, especially from the winger on the other side. When the ball is on this side, we might want to risk a little bit of this overload, which is behind and on the other side. Maybe not as risky, still might come, but as soon as you see that we recover the ball, we need to provide the width. That's gonna make the players to open spaces in the middle of the park where we can really have the ball and being dangerous. That was the explanation most likely for the the central midfielders. Now, but there is more people involved. So what if there's more people involved in this case, like for example, the back four? So as you can see, the objective of the back four is normally one free center back. Why? Because we want this player to being able to read the intention, and if it's a long ball, he can create some space, allow some time, and then being able to chase if he needs to, but ideally to clear the ball, recover, and then being on spare man. It's very important that if there is a runner making if this, for example, number 10 makes a run in behind, the 6 need to go with them. So we still have the overload in case of the long ball, in case something happen, or even if they find the fit, we need to provide the overload. So runners are very important, and center back reading the intention of the long ball as well. Not only the center backs, but we need the goalkeeper to be mindful of the distance between the back four and himself or herself. Why? Because sometimes what happening here is that we get excited, everyone pushes too high, everyone is up here, and let's say we are in this situation where our center back got dragged by number 9, number 6, and we probably look like that. So that one leave a lot of space to cover in behind, all right? And then if that ball is sent, even if it's a straight ball, which is a hard ball technically to play a ball to get this in behind, to get these players in behind, they will still have a chance to beat us in a speed, or if someone didn't read it and make the run in behind. That's why we want to keep it nice and compact, but also safe. So we need to be safe, and we need to don't allow so much space also in between the goalkeeper and the back four. So as a quick summary of what we want with the medium block is we basically want to force the play into trouble. We want a long ball that is easy to deal, and then we recover possession and we play out with control possession. Or we want a ball in the middle where we got people, where we overload, where we are marking, and then we create a transition moment that we can explode in a counter-attack, getting the spaces in behind or on the other side. So we need to be very disciplined to execute this. Sometimes it gets frustrated for the opposition because they're going to have a space in the last turn. They're just going to move it, and they're not going to progress. When they try to progress, boom, that's our moment to apply our system. And then hitting the counter-attack or build up as we know how to build up. But the most dangerous thing is if we're not in the same page. If the team doesn't act as a unit. If, for example, the forwards start pressing way too high and we're not compact. So everyone needs to be and believe in this system to be able to work. Otherwise, if let's say number 9 don't do the job and allow the center back to come, it's gonna be a shame. It's gonna be a shame of events where everyone from us is gonna get dragged, and then what they do is create overloads. Everyone in the park. So let's say that's the first overload, but let's say they play the ball to 6, and now 6 is dragging our 6, for example. Here we go. You have another overload for them, and that keeps happening all the way until they can create a scoring opportunity, which is what we don't want. So if we are all together in the same page, this should work. And we need to be disciplined and don't get frustrated. It's actually the opposite. The opposition team is the one that gets frustrated. How to beat this system, I will explain it in another video. I hope you enjoy it. And if you got any question, please let me know. That was only a simple explanation with some principles. Might be some variations depending on how they playing as well, the rotations they do. But that's a little bit of deeper explanation. At the moment, we're going to stick with this. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you soon. If you got any question, send me an email or a message. It's Coach Sergio here. Bye.